The greatest of all time, Irvin Magic Johnson. How you doing, sir?
Everything is good.
You know, it's such a pleasure. I grew up watching you. One of my childhood heroes. I actually patterned my game after you, but I never learned how to shoot the ball. I was a really good passer.
Right.
Because you were a really good passer. So I didn't get much playing time at all. But I just wanted to thank you, man, for being an influence on my life and sitting here talking to you today. We're here because, let's get the business out of the way. From the beginning, you were involved, of course, with OraQuick. The OraSure is the company.
Right.
And they have the at-home HIV testing kit. How did you get involved with this company?
Well, I think it was important that because African Americans and Latinos, we have, it's a big stigma in our community when we talk about HIV and AIDS. We don't want to go to the doctor, a lot of us, and then a lot of us don't want to go to an HIV and AIDS clinic to find out our status. So what's important is that we need to know our status. If we're living with HIV, then we can jump on it and do something about it, because that's what saved my life. The fact that I was able to find out my status, and then because early detection, I was able to then get on a regimen, take my meds, and that's why I've been here for 21 years. So this OraSure has made this OraQuick where you can, this is an at-home HIV and AIDS test. So it takes 20 minutes, the results. So all you have to do is swab your mouth, right there, upper, lower, and in 20 minutes you get your results. I think it's a game changer because you can do it in the confines of your home, you can do it in your office, in your car, whatever. And then now you don't have to take off work to go to a doctor or AIDS clinic. Now you can do it at home, so you don't never have to leave work. Or you can do it in between, you know, making a meal for your family or whatever. Then last but not least, you need to know the status, because unfortunately, a lot of people are walking around don't know they're HIV positive. And
it's something like 1 in 5?
Yes. And so it's important now that you understand it, and then you can deal with it. And then this kit has information. If you find out you are, there's a hotline that's open 24 hours a day, an 800 number. There's also pamphlets inside that'll help you answer some questions for you. So if you need to know any information, there's pamphlets and information in here that'll help you. Then there's, on that hotline, you can get to a doctor right away or a healthcare provider right away, and that's important as well. So look, everybody, get out and know your status. That's what this is all about. And if you do that, you can be healthy and strong, just like I have for the last 21 years living with HIV and AIDS.
You know, a lot of people over the years, they always say, oh, Magic, he's still living, he's so healthy. Look at Magic, he doesn't have HIV anymore, he's rich. What do you say to people like that? Because obviously you still do have the virus, and you take all of your meds and you exercise a certain way. How do you address people that have questions as far as your status?
Well, I think that first of all they have to understand I'm not on any magical drugs. The same 30-something drugs that are available to the public, they're available to me. I'm on 3 of those drugs. I take them once a day, and so it doesn't matter. One thing about success, it doesn't matter if you're successful or not. If I don't take my meds, I'm gonna die. If I don't do what I'm supposed to do, I'm gonna die. But because I've been taking my meds, I've been trying to eat healthy, working out, then I've been living for a long time. So now the virus acts different in all of us. Just because I'm doing well don't mean that you're going to do well, or the next person. If you get HIV, it's about whether you can get on top of it right away, get on some meds, and then start taking care of yourself. So Magic is doing only well because he's doing all the right things and the things that his doctor tells him to do. And make no mistake about it, it's in our community, unfortunately, in a big way. We got to change our mindset and attitude about HIV in our community. But we can take care of that. Just get tested. And this test, because it's in home, now you don't have to have anybody in your business but you. And this test can allow you and your boyfriend, you and your husband, you and your family members or friends, you can take it together and find out the status. So this is what makes it great.
You're involved in a lot of businesses. Most recently, I read about you been a part of a group to purchase the LA Dodgers, from your Starbucks up until I've been to your theater in Harlem.
Right.
What is it that you want to accomplish that you haven't accomplished so far in your life?
Well, I think, for me is to keep growing my brand, growing my company, but also in a disciplined way. I want to continue to put people of color to work, both inside my businesses, but also in my company as well. I think that, let's look at BET. Bob Johnson has done a wonderful job, of starting it and owning it, and Deborah Lee has taken over and still doing an amazing job. She's a quality executive, and she knows business, and she's just amazing. So what I'm trying to do is continue to build a brand and show other African Americans we can do this.
Definitely.
Other athletes, we can do this. Other entertainers, the hip hop community, whoever, we can do this. We can go from one field to another field and still be successful. And we need to own. See, because we've been the talent.
You're right.
And we're going to kill on that side.
You're right.
We've been, now with Tiger, we're the best golfer. We've been the best hoopers. We've been the best football players, and on and on and on. We've been the best entertainers.
Gotta own that network. Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's about owning, and if we can do that, then more brothers like yourself will have opportunities to showcase their skills and their talent, and that's what it's all about. So, I would never stop. I own WBLS in New York.
Yes.
I own Vibe, Soul Train, all these different magazines, on 20-something radio stations, both African American and Latinos, #1 hip hop stations in a lot of the markets. Aspire, on and on and on. I'm gonna continue to build, and then the Dodgers was a big hit. Why? Because Jackie Robinson was the first one in. Playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Yes, right here. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, here I am, African American, following Jackie, but on the ownership side of the Dodgers, and it's a beautiful thing.
And you have a different relationship. I interview a lot of the younger NBA players. I mentioned Derrick Rose, not to mention, countless other.
Right.
You still have an influence in the NBA, which means that every time you speak, it matters. Even if it's controversy, for instance, Dwight Howard, he's a Los Angeles Laker now. You also have a job where you're commenting on ESPN.
Right.
How do you actually separate the two? Because when you're the legend, how do you keep from ticking somebody off?
Well, that's a beautiful question. First time somebody ever asked me that question. It's about respect.
Yes.
They know I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell the truth. They respect me, I respect them. When they have a bad game, I gotta point that out. But when they have a great game, I'm gonna point that out. And so they understand. The public understand. The athletes and the basketball players understand. But I'm their big brother. I've talked to Derrick Rose, his mom, his brother. Dwight Howard, his mom, dad, as well as himself. LeBron, on and on and on. See, because all of them look at me as the guy they want to be after they're done playing basketball. So, and then the hip hop community is the same way. You ask Sean or Jay-Z or any of them, it's the same thing, because they say, wow, Magic doing business. Now I want to be a businessman. So it's a great thing that I can, be a role model to all these guys. And now Jay-Z owning so much stuff is amazing what the brother's doing, and what LeBron now is owning his own company and doing marketing and all the stuff he's doing, and Kobe and Shaq, and on and on and on. So I want to show them that, man, look, the same amount of time and the hard work you put into being an athlete, you can put into being a businessman. And at the end of the day, what does that do for us? That means that now we can hire more African Americans. And also, the young kids can idolize them not just as a basketball player and an athlete, but now as a businessman. Because I want our young brothers and sisters to understand, yes, you should idolize the entertainers and athletes who are people of color, but also idolize them for being business people. So you might can't be them on the basketball court or the football field, but you can be them in the boardroom.
Definitely.
And that's what we need. We need more people, these young people. We need them to stay in school, and quit dropping out. We need them to get a college degree and go on to be successful.
When you put your executive hat on as an NBA, you know, a lot of the best players come out of high school. And you know, when you come out of high school, your desire is to go to college, get a job. I mean, do you have any problem with high school players that are good enough coming out of high school going straight to the NBA?
Well, look, it's a twofold answer to that. You never want to stop anybody from doing what they're able to do. So if the NBA thinks you're good enough, that's great. But for me, on the other side of that, I'd rather for them to get a couple years of college. And the reason I say that is because they need to mature and grow.
Gotcha.
College helps you to do that, both on your basketball game and social.
Parties. I mentioned to you that I went to Western Michigan, and I used to travel to Michigan State because that's where the best parties were.
That's right.
And a lot of people, I had Shannon Brown on and his wife Monica. He said, "Shh, keep that quiet, man." Like I never, cause like Michigan State was legendary.
That's
but what
right.
was it like when you went in the '70s? What was it like? Was there a difference?
No, it's the same thing because we gave the best icebreaker. So all the frats used to come down to Michigan State when we gave the big party called our icebreaker.
Yep.
Then also I met my queen, my wife, at Michigan State. So you know I was, Cookie. You know, I saw her walking down the hallway with them tight jeans on, and I said, brother, got to have them digits. I got to have that phone number. What's your name, girl? So I met beautiful Cookie at Michigan State, and it's a great place, man. It's great because one thing good about Michigan, all the schools really hang together, in terms of African Americans that go to those schools. They try to all hang out together or party at Michigan State and get to know each other, and that's why it was so great. And then at the end of the day too, we've had a lot of successful people like yourself. You're successful. A lot of young men look up to you. A lot of young people look up to you. That's what it's all about. So continue to do what you do, and I got to continue to do what I do, and hopefully we can continue to just show our young people that if you do all the right things, you can be successful.
I have a few rapid fire questions for you that I want you to answer. Cool. Who's the greatest NBA player of all time, you think?
Well, I think that Bill Russell is the greatest winner. Michael Jordan is the best player of all time.
Okay.
And I think that Larry Bird is right there up under that.
Now, John Sally once said that Michael Jordan was not the greatest player ever, that you were, and I totally agreed with him, but maybe I'm biased.
I don't talk about myself.
Of course you don't, but I mean, honestly, I noticed that when you do interviews, you never talk about yourself, or you never include yourself.
No.
Why is that?
No, well, I think that people know, my abilities and what I was able to do. It's all about championships. Michael won 6, I won 5. Larry won 3. That's what it's all about. But I won in college, I won in high school, I won at every level, and that's the main thing. And so people will say, hey, whether the barbershop, when I go in, half is for Michael, half is for me, and and that's cool, and that's what it's all about. But as long as you gave your best, you won, you made your teammates better. That's all that I was concerned about.
Which championship do you appreciate the most? For going back from even your high school days at Everett, Michigan State, and winning your first and your rookie year as the Lakers.
Every time I beat Larry Bird.
Really?
College.
Yes.
And the 2 times that I beat him in the NBA. But those were the best moments of my life, beating Boston and Larry Bird.
And you mentioned all the radio stations and entertainment you're involved in musically. Like, who's your favorite artist of all time?
Oh, that's easy, Michael Jackson.
Of course.
It's not even close. I would take Prince probably second. And then I have a lot of great groups, from the OJs, Frankie, New Edition, Boyz II Men, all those guys. Whitney Houston is probably one of the best voices I've ever heard in my life.
Yes, God rest his soul.
Yeah, exactly. I think that Earth, Wind and Fire, and then back in the day, Parliament, brother.
Oh, you taking me back, like old school.
Parliament, Ohio Players. Tom Brown with Jamaica Funk is one of my favorites of all time. I can keep going, but new school too.
Who you listening to, like new school? Are you into 2 Chainz at all?
Oh yeah. And, I think Jay is still holding it down. Beyonce, all them, and my music is both new school and old school. So you know, John Legend, all those guys are just really good. And then I used to have Avant. That was my first artist on my label.
Yes.
He
forgot about that.
Yeah. He was the first artist, and he's still doing his thing. Yeah. And so I'm just blessed to. Music makes my life complete. Whether I'm up, I'm down, I'm laughing, whatever it is. I've probably been one individual that's probably seen everybody. Because I love to go to concerts. That's my number one thing. My wife and I we've seen everybody.
Really?
Yeah, and I still, even today, when I was in New York, Barclays, Jay-Z opened.
I was there. I was there.
You know, so I still love going to concerts. That's why BET was important to us. They give us everything, you know, news, what's happening in our community, great shows, and then 106 in Park. What can we say? You know, just incredible. So,
but we need more networks. So I'm looking forward to. I saw Aspire and what you guys are offering over there.
I think what's nice is that BET has dominated so much, and so what we're just going to do is just do a little bit different, not do the same thing. So you get a taste of both. If you want to switch over, you can watch us, and because you're going to always have, BET's always going to have their crowd, no question about it. They're the first, they're the best that's doing it out there, and so we don't mind following them and trying to bring something different to the audience, and we're going to do that. And one of my favorite people in all this world is Deborah Lee, and I love her. And then Mr. Hill, don't tell him I said this. You know, his ego will get all big, his head will get too big. But that's my boy. He actually changed TV.
Yes.
So this big ups.
106 in Park is a part of hip hop history, right?
Oh, without a doubt.
That's why I'm so honored to work for him. It's a privilege. A lot of people don't realize that, but that's probably the only reason why
I'm glad you did, because he changed the way, not just blacks, not just Latino, everybody. 106 got everybody watching it.
Definitely.
And
and everybody comes on the show too. You know, it's black, white,
that's right.
actors.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. Yeah. You have, if you want to get seen around the world.
Yes.
It was just like Soul Train for me back in my day.
I used to wake up every Saturday morning to watch Soul Train.
That's right.
Anyway, we jumping off subject.
Exactly.
I'm gonna let you get out of here, and it's an honor once again. Thank you for your time.
Keep on doing it, man.
Come back again.
Okay, thank you. All right.